Yo, what's going on, guys? I am the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast, episode 151. We're back with Jake Talk Sports. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Well, as all right as we can be with the world the way it is this day. Yeah, I think that's what we have to lead off with, right? We have to talk about DeMar. 100%.
I mean, listen, like it's very, very saddening to see, and it's crazy just because, like, you never I don't know, we kind of tend to view football players as having this cushy, perfect life because they play in the NFL and they make millions of dollars and whatsoever. But in reality, life is just as precious for them as it is for any of us. And watching a player virtually die on a football field for a few minutes is one of the most terrifying things that you could ever experience as a sports fan.
It's even worse. We technically did watch him die. They had to resuscitate him. That is not something any of us would ever think we'd see on an NFL football field. We know there's always a chance of it, but none of us believed we'd ever actually see something like what happened on Monday night. And to me, I think, so I don't know, I know we've talked about this some, but did you play football? At like what level did you? Okay. So I played through high school. That's it. I'm not gonna try to lie and say, I played in college. I was really good. No. But to me, the scariest part about that was it was a routine play. Like, that's a like the tackle he went for is a tackle I've made hundreds of times. A tackle anybody who played football at even a high school level has made that exact play hundreds of times. And seeing that shit freaked me out. I was fucked up by it. It's just awful. And, we're hearing decent things about DeMar right now, which is really good. But still just gotta keep our thoughts and prayers with him. Hopefully, at this point, just hopefully he gets to just live life still. Because this is a young dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at this point, it's not even about, let's hope he can play again. Let's just hope he gets to see his family again, And, prayers up to DeMar and the Hamlin family. I don't know if I want to stay focused on this entirely. It's very sad, and it needed to be addressed, but I think it's just going to make us both terribly sad if we just spend an hour talking about that.
I'm sure, yes.
So here, there's a new report talking about specifically the Bills-Bengals game. Now, it is the biggest report I've seen about it is from Mike Florio, so got to take that with a very large grain of salt. But
sure,
momentum is building for the cancellation of the Bills-Bengals game.
As it should be.
Absolutely.
I legitimately don't care if they never play that football game.
Right.
I get whatever big implications in the AFC. Boo-hoo. I don't care.
No.
Like, legitimately, move on with week 18. Fine. Give it that amount of time. Have week 18 happen the way it happens. I don't know what you're going to do with their records or what you're going to do with that. But hey, that football game, it shouldn't be played. And honestly, I'm glad they didn't do it this week because you saw
Yeah.
the looks on Josh Allen's face,
Yeah.
on Joe Burrow's face. If they had gone out there and played 15 minutes after that incident, we would have seen one of the absolute just most depressing,
Yep.
meaningless football games we've ever watched in our lives because they wouldn't care.
Yep. 100%. And I mean, while that game did have huge implications, I think none of that matters. Though it will be interesting. I don't want this to sound awful, but the one thing that is awful about missing that game is the Bengals are now officially out of the running for the 1 seed, which is terrible for them, but I think they get it. I don't think they get it. They obviously get it. We saw that with their actions on Monday during the whole thing. Zach Taylor, being the guy to, what are we doing? We need to not do this. And Sean McDermott going, I need to be at the hospital with my guy. And Zach Taylor, you're right. There's no need for this. We're going to the locker room. We're shutting this down. But, yeah. Apparently, the way playoff seeding will work is they will go entirely off win percentage of the teams in the AFC. So the Chiefs could be the 1 seed if they beat the Raiders on Saturday. And if they lose and the Bills beat the Patriots on Sunday, the Bills will be the 1 seed. According to this, there is currently no talk about the possibility of a Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship game being played at a neutral site, even though the Bills could have clinched the top seed by beating the Bengals, which that doesn't matter. I don't know. A neutral site game doesn't make sense to me either. What about you?
No. I mean, I don't know. It's just like it. I don't think that they need to decide that by 1 game. I mean, I think that if they were to alter the records at all, honestly, just give both the teams a tie. Like, I don't care.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, this stuff is way bigger than football.
Oh, 100%.
I would say, I mean, I think the NFL should, the right thing the NFL, it seems like they're on the track to do is sacrificing that game and sacrificing a little bit of extra work to get things done for,
Right.
players' life, And I think that
is the correct answer. I think it's the best answer, at least.
I think it's just canceling this game, playing Week 18 the best you can.
Yep.
Because it has to be played. Week 18 can't get canceled. You can't do that.
You can't. And I know a lot of people have said, just push everything back and cancel the Pro Bowl. That way you can make up the Bills-Bengals game. That can't work because technically you'd only be punishing the Bills and Bengals. Because if you pushed everything back, next week every playoff team not named the Bills and Bengals would get a bye, basically. And they'd be forced to play what would be in reality an extra game. And then a team like the Chiefs, if they were the 1 seed, would get 2 byes, which never works. Like, you don't rest your players in Week 18 if you're the 1 seed. Because back-to-back byes, your players get rusty surprisingly fast. So, yeah, the best option is to cancel the game, go off of seeding. And I know I've seen some people saying, talking about canceling the season. The NFL would never do that. That sounds awful, but we know it's true. There's too much money involved for them to ever do that.
Yeah, I honestly don't think, as awful as this is, I don't think that these teams who have played an entire season and have worked to where they are and weren't involved in this incident at all should
Right.
have their seasons canceled by it. I mean, like, I don't mean to sound like awful
No.
about this. Like that, like what happened is terrible. It's just like you
100%.
can't cancel a sports season.
Right.
I mean, unless it is an issue that threatens every single team, like COVID did.
Right.
This is a Bills and a Bengals thing, and that's why you cancel that game. But you have to move on.
Yeah. And
As sad as that is,
it is. It's awful. And I think there's definitely ways to go about talking about that part of it. Because as we saw, some people don't go about it the right way. Look at how the internet is unhappy with Skip Bayless currently. I shouldn't just say the internet. It seems like everyone's unhappy with Skip Bayless.
All I'll say in that situation with Skip is I have gained a lot of respect for Shannon Sharp for the fact that he has not showed up to Undisputed the past couple of days.
Well, he showed up today.
Oh, did he?
And he's, oh my God, it was something else.
Sure was. I'll have to watch the clips back on YouTube later.
So he started off the show. This part's not on YouTube, so you'll have to look up Shannon Sharp on Twitter. I believe it's the first thing that pops up. But it's Shannon's opening monologue where he's trying to talk about everything that happened, and Skip interrupts him. Shannon gets all pissy. They start talking again, and Shannon goes, you shared a tweet that I did not agree with, and I think you should have taken it down. Skip goes, I'm not going to take it down. I stand by what I said. It's like, dude, read the room. Even if you stand by what you said, read the goddamn room.
I don't want to get on an Undisputed tangent,
no,
but this is the end of that show.
Probably.
Because I'm sure you saw the clip where they talk about Brady.
And Skip was attacking Shannon's career.
And Skip was just like, "You're just jealous because he's so much better than you ever were. Like, I'm a three-time like all pro. Who cares? Like, legitimately, like,
yeah, Skip
those two do not function together anymore.
No,
and for good reason. It's mostly just because Skip is an absolute moron and Shannon is, for the most part, not.
Right. So, Skip's an absolute moron and he's an ass about it. He thinks he's the smartest in the room.
It's the exact same thing as Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
Yep.
They worked for a while.
Yep.
The First Take just kind of fizzled out, and their relationship just kind of fizzled out.
You know what would be interesting? It'll never happen.
No. You're talking about Skip and Stephen A. Smith coming back together.
No. It'll never happen. Shannon and Stephen A. Smith. It'll never happen.
I mean,
because I doubt Fox gets rid of Shannon, and we know ESPN isn't getting rid of.
I guarantee you, if Undisputed ends, Shannon will have a contract for his own TV show in his hands the next morning.
He probably already does. Go watch
Skip,
the clip from this morning. Skip's done.
Skip, on the other hand, probably would not get a re-sign or a new deal with Fox. He'd probably end up going to a different network, or maybe nobody would take him, and that's the best option.
I think
definitely than a Fox, at least.
I think the only thing left for Skip is to try to join our space, technically.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, is like, I disagree with a lot of what Colin Cowherd says.
Yep.
Colin Cowherd, I think he's a good dude.
Right.
He is not a disrespectful person. He disagrees with people a lot, but he's respectful about it. And I actually enjoy watching him talk.
Yep.
Because even though I don't agree with some of his stuff, he's very, very fluent in the way he talks. He's not abrasive, and he has great interviews with people.
Yep.
And he stays away from stuff like Undisputed and First Take. He doesn't do that kind of show because he knows he's seen exactly what it does to people. Right. And that's why I respect guys like him and just people who host their own talk shows. Like Max Kellerman is very good on his own.
Yep.
And so is Stephen A. Smith, although he's still arguing with people on First Take.
Stephen A. Smith is kind of good wherever he's at with whatever he's doing, though.
I like him a lot, yeah.
Stephen A. is great. I don't think he's the smartest when it comes to sports, but you also don't have to be.
He doesn't have to be, yeah.
There's this whole thing of, it's like what Skip Bayless tries to do, but it's like I said, he's an ass about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can have very different opinions and not be an asshole when debating people. You know? We do that a lot. We have very
like
different
you and
opinions on
I-
lots of things.
Yeah, you and me and Miller, we disagree on. There are very few things that we agree on,
Right.
but like we don't like despise each other.
No.
Like
And we can
Skip and Shannon hate each other.
it
It's very
seems
clear
like
that they
it.
hate each other. There was like, I can't remember the last time I've seen like a moment of respect between those two, where they just like calmed down and were like, "And like, I love you." I don't. That dynamic never worked, in my opinion. But
It did for
here we
a
are.
while.
Yeah, maybe, but
But it's wild. Yeah, we'll see how long Undisputed lasts.
we will see. Yeah.
At this point I don't know if it lasts till next month at this point. Like just today
think
alone, Shannon
It'll
seems so done.
exist. I think it'll exist until the end of the NFL season.
Ooh,
And then
possibly.
it'll probably be gone. I would say that once their peak level of argument is over, I would say that they probably sit back and reevaluate.
Yeah. So, did you see? We're gonna move away from Skip and Shannon. So tonight, the Hall of Fame put out their modern era finalists. Have you seen that yet?
They did.
Okay.
No, all I know is that Devin Hester is on it. I don't know the other 14.
Okay. So I will go through the list for you real quick. We have Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas,
Fair.
Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis,
Fair.
Darren
Fair.
Woodson, Albert Lewis, Andre Johnson, Torrey Holt, Devin
Fair.
Hester, Dwight Freeney, Rondé Barber, Willie Anderson, and Jared Allen.
I like it.
So there's one person on this list that I say isn't allowed to make it this year. Actually, there's
I
two.
legitimately have no idea who you're talking about. I'm cool with all of those.
Dwight Freeney and DeMarcus Ware are not allowed to make it this year. Jared Allen, this is his third year of eligibility, and he hasn't made it yet. His stats are better than
What
theirs.
is it? What is it? 5 of them moved on?
I believe so. So, to me, if you're
Yeah,
you're
I
putting
don't
an edge
think-
rusher through, it needs to be Jared Allen. He's waited the longest,
I don't
and
think
his numbers are there.
I mean, I don't think Marcus Ware is going to make it this year.
If he makes it before
I don't
Allen,
think.
I'm gonna freak out. That's all
I really
know.
think that pretty much every guy on that list has a case this year, except for maybe DeMarcus Ware and the other guy.
Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, Dwight Freeney.
And Freeney
think
is
that-
amazing. I love Dwight Freeney, but
I don't know. I don't think they'll put Hester in this year. I think it's a right step in the right direction that they actually made him a finalist.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get in this year just because they disrespect him, and he's probably one of those guys that's going to have to wait his turn, but he'll make it at some point.
yeah.
I think it'll probably be Jared Allen. I think Andre Johnson will make it.
Ooh. So I think we're gonna have 2 first ballots. I really do, and that's gonna be Joe Thomas and Darrelle Revis.
Joe Thomas is definitely getting in, and Darrell
Yeah.
Reeves is obviously getting in. Yeah, those
So-
two are. Yeah.
So we've got 2 of the 5. I don't know if Andre
Didn't Joe
Johnson.
Thomas retire. How was he eligible already? It feels like he retired yesterday.
No,
Literally.
well,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I think he would have had to have retired in 2018.
How long do you have to be out of the league for?
I think it's
I guess,
4 years.
Oh,
I
I mean,
think.
good for him. He'll
So-
make it. That's
Yeah. Thomas and Revis should get in. Jared Allen should. I
That's
don't
3.
know if you can put Andre in before you put Torrey Holt in. He's been waiting so long.
Torrey's been a while. Yeah.
So I would say Torrey Holt is 4. And then your 5 can be whoever, I think. It can be Reggie Wayne. It can be Patrick Willis. It could be Andre.
I think it'll be Patrick Willis.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad one. It also could be Zach Thomas. I know everybody talked about how he should have made it last year. So
Yeah.
Zach
Yeah.
Thomas wouldn't be one I'd be mad at either. Rondé Barber feels like a guy who has to wait.
Yeah,
a few years.
I
Like
really
he's
think
that level, but he wasn't that guy, you know?
I really think that this should far and away be Jared Allen Jr. It's got to be.
I hope so. This is third year of eligibility. I'm really worried it's going to be another Chris Carter deal
It could be.
where Jared
Yeah.
has to wait 10 years for no goddamn reason.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame. It's just how long are they going to delay it?
Right. And that's the part that I hate. When you know a dude's a Hall of Famer, especially if
Put
you've
him in
already
the
made
Hall
him
of
wait,
Fame.
put him in. Don't do this wait 10
Yeah.
years and, hopefully he's still alive to care. No, if he's a Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. Get him in there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you should maybe just look at the guys who have waited the longest from this finalist list and go, okay, it's those 5. But I also know you shouldn't do that because Revis and Joe Thomas are first ballot Hall of Famers. They are. That's just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Devin Hester should get in this year. I think he should have been a first ballot guy. I really do. I think if you're the best ever at doing something, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot. Like,
Sure.
Devin Hester is the greatest punt returner I've ever seen. He deserves it. Just like when Cordy P retires, he's the greatest kick returner we've ever seen. He deserves it. Just Adam Vinatieri, I don't know when his eligibility is up. He's maybe the greatest kicker we've ever seen. He should be a first ballot guy. That's just how I view it. And, for all the other guys, I mean, there's no argument for them being the best at anything. I mean, maybe Jared Allen had the best sack celebration with the hog tie, but that doesn't really count as something I look at when considering you a Hall of Famer. Because the best receiver of all time would be Jerome Simpson because of the front flip over a guy into the end zone.
Right.
Also, that reminds me of something. In your opinion, is Mr. Chad Ochocinco a Hall of Famer?
Give me a sec.
So I'm pulling him up. I have him pulled up on Pro Football Reference. Let's compare him to a finalist from this year. Let's compare him to Reggie Wayne. Because it kind of feels like those two were in the same tier of receiver around the same time in the league. So Reggie Wayne in his career has 1,070 receptions for 14,345 yards and 82 touchdowns. Reggie is a 6-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro. That's not true. He is a 3-time All-Pro. 2 of those are on the second team, though. And he's a 1-time Super Bowl champ. Chad Johnson, or Chad Ochocinco, had 766 receptions, so that's 300 less, 11,059 yards, 67 touchdowns. He is also a 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 1-time second-team All-Pro. Obviously, not a Super Bowl champ. But
yeah,
you think so?
I think so.
I do too. I mean,
those stats aren't 3,000 less yards on 300 less receptions is pretty good.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah, and like that's I don't think he played as long as Reggie Wayne did.
3 less years. And what is
right,
that?
so
work out
he
to be?
would have gotten
55 less games, I think.
So he would have gotten close to that 300 reception mark to get to where Reggie Wayne was if he played those same amount of seasons.
Yeah.
I also just think Chad Ochocinco is such a prominent figure in the game that alone earns him a star when it comes to Hall of Fame eligibility. I think he gets in.
And we've already seen him rocking the gold jacket on the sidelines the one time. Remember his warm-up thing? Hall of Fame class of 20 ?
Yeah.
I wonder if the Hall of Fame is just going to be assholes about it, though. Vote him in the year 2100, so his jacket that he wore on the sideline that one time was false. Hall of Fame class of 20-something. Well, no, it was the Hall of Fame class of 2100. You were wrong. The Hall of Fame could be very petty about it. It would be kind of funny. But... yeah, that part's interesting. You doing all right? You gonna pass out on me over there?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
You are not very talkative this evening, surprisingly. It's almost like you just recorded a podcast before this.
I did, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, the senior finalists. Where the hell are they? I see a couple of them, but that can't be all of them. Where the heck? Is there not a further list of... no? Not a full... so maybe those are the 3 senior finalists? Which has me drawing up even more questions. So the senior finalists... Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP Chuck Howley. Joe Klecko of the Jets, Don Coryell, former Chargers head coach, and Ken Riley, former Bengal. Those are your senior finalists. Strange. But that's what I know. Hopefully it's Jared Allen's year. That's what I care about.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, God. Why is First Take trending? What did they do? Nothing? You click on First Take and it's all talking about Skip and Shannon. It's not the correct show, Internet. Nice try, though. So, do you want to hear the weirdest thing I'm ever going to say to you?
Yeah.
For the next, I believe, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, I am a minor Packer fan. Just a little bit. Here's why.
That's right, baby.
So here's why. The Vikings are probably going to be the 3 seed, right?
Sure.
Because right now, I mean, the Vikings have to win, the Niners have to lose this weekend. The Vikings are going to beat the Bears because there's no Fields, but I don't see the Niners losing. I really don't.
Who they play?
I don't know, but I don't care either. It's a regular season game, so Brock Purdy's fine.
Oh.
They play... who do they play? The Cardinals.
They play the Cardinals. They'll be fine. They're starting David Blau.
The Cardinals without D-Hop as well.
And they're starting David Blau against the Niners defense. They'll be okay. Yeah. They're going to win.
So... the Niners will be the 2 seed. The Vikings will be the 3 seed.
Uh-huh.
So on Sunday night, I need Aaron to go beat the Lions. I just do. I need him to make the playoffs.
I think they will.
Then I need Aaron to pull some magic out of his hat. You see.
Oh, listen, I just talked about this with Hammy. Yep. I am booking it right now. They will beat the San Francisco 49ers if they play them.
I need them to. Because
here is the thing. If the Packers defense plays the way it does it did against Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Against the 49ers. The 49ers defense is good too. That just makes it a one-on-one showdown between Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers.
We saw what I've been saying about the Niners defense all year.
Yes.
But we saw it. Their secondary is bad. When they play a team with real wide receivers, they're fucked. And
the Packers don't have that
right now. But they also have a quarterback who can dissect a bad secondary.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
and I think that the Niners defense is good and the Packers defense is good. So I think a low scoring affair between Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers. I'm taking Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
I just talked about this. Listen, man, there is no guarantee they beat Detroit. Detroit is a hungry, very, very good team. I can't remember the last time they swept us.
Right.
I don't. But I'm just saying Rodgers in January at home with the playoff spot on the line.
Right.
Versus Jared Goff, who on the road this year has been awful outside of his little dome.
And I mean,
Been great.
if
I don't know why
Lambeau,
it's weird.
if Lambeau is anything like it was last Sunday, nobody can go win there.
No, because it's one of the most insane fan bases of football.
No, that's
especially
not what
with
I
how
mean.
Crucial the game
The
is.
field itself, where nobody can
that.
stand up. It's like an ice rink for no reason. Hasn't rained in Wisconsin in 2 months, but
Well, I don't really know how that works because Lambeau is a heated field, so it doesn't ever get slick or icy.
well, no, but that I know. But whatever it was, I don't know if it was just super wet for some reason,
Maybe
or
it was.
whatever.
I don't know.
But the Vikings could not run routes. We'd have two
It
or three
probably-
receivers fall down every
It
play.
was probably wet because the snow melted on the field before the game.
Well,
because of
that's the
heated field.
issue. It hasn't snowed in Lambeau for like 3 weeks. So it was
Maybe
weird.
Aaron Rodgers went out there with a water jug and just started pouring.
I mean,
Who
did
knows?
you see the thing? Apparently, Vikings fans are trying to claim that the Packers flooded the middle of the field because all of
Oh
the
my
Packers
gosh.
receivers are built to stay outside. So they flooded the middle of the field. I was like, dude, what kind of weird ass.
Packers receivers didn't even play that well.
Everybody was falling down. There was something wrong with the fucking field. I don't know what it was, but
There's not a single receiver who had a good game.
no,
in that
it was
game.
awful.
It was literally just.
That's not true. Speedy Naylor had a great game. Speedy he had
Yeah,
two
whatever.
catches for 81 and a touchdown.
Garbage time.
Speedy's
hear
the
it.
GOAT.
Man, I don't know.
No.
Like I seriously think the Packers team that we saw in Minnesota could beat anybody in the NFC playoffs.
So here's what I'm hoping for.
They could even
Packers
take Philly.
go win Sunday.
Sure.
Go beat the Niners. That means
Possible.
divisional round of the playoffs is either technically Eagles, Packers, or Cowboys, Packers
Wait,
if
hold
the
up.
Cowboys steal the 1 seed.
Do the 49ers have a path to the 1 seed or no?
No.
No.
No,
No.
the Cowboys and Eagles have a path to the 1 seed. That's it.
Wait, but if the Eagles lose and the Niners win, they're
Doesn't
both
matter.
13-4.
Doesn't matter.
What gives the Eagles the tiebreaker?
Their record against NFC teams.
Ah, okay.
Their NFC record. That's why the 49ers have the tiebreaker over Minnesota. Minnesota's only lost to NFC teams. But the Packers would go either to Dallas or Philly, depending on how that shakes out. I'm going to say probably Philly. Then either the Bucks or Cowboys goes to Minnesota for the divisional round. And I don't trust Mike McCarthy, so we can beat the Cowboys this time. And the Buccaneers are awful, so we could beat them. If the Packers then win, it sets up the NFC Championship game. Vikings-Packers in Minnesota. That's the
Honestly,
only
I
way.
wouldn't even care if we lost that. If we
I
make
would-
the NFC Championship after the season,
Right.
after the season we had, I would literally root for the Vikings just for fun.
Right? Like,
Be like, whatever. I don't
this
care.
is the world I'm praying for, which means for right now, I am a short-term Packers fan. I'm rooting for
Man.
12.
He'll do it. He'll do his thing.
We just got to hold on to our end of the bargain, meet you in the NFC Championship game. And then, like I said, teams in the AFC can't beat the Vikings. So if we make the Super Bowl, we're winning it. Them's the rules.
Or you get knocked out in the first round and go home.
I promise you we're not losing to the fucking Giants.
You came pretty close.
I don't
In
care.
Minnesota.
And it'll still be in Minnesota. But real quick, who do you trust more, Kirk Cousins or Daniel Jones? Who do you trust more, Isaiah Hodgins or Justin Jefferson?
Isaiah Hodgins, he had more receiving yards against the Packers than Justin Jefferson did last game. So
Yeah, sorry
Take
that
it.
it wasn't,
That
Sorry
and then
that
we'll take,
Jair, a safety, and another corner were not on Isaiah Hodgins all game.
we'll take that. Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins. It's definitely a
Okay,
debate.
we're not doing that. We're not letting you disrespect Kirk that fucking much.
Okay, to be
No.
fair, obviously I'm joking about that, but to be fair, respect Daniel Jones because he's not been horrible this year.
No, but they're also not winning because of him. They're winning in spite of him every time.
They ain't losing. So.
Except for all the times they've lost, which is a lot.
Hey, it took a 61-yard field goal to beat him at home. I mean, I'm not really saying that this would be a runaway game.
I'm 100% saying that. The Giants have no shot.
You said that about the Packers game too, and here
No,
we
I
are.
didn't. That's false.
Literally? No, you did. Literally.
I said
we were on a
Jair had
podcast-
no shot to shut him
No,
down. I
we were on a
literally said you were
podcast.
probably going to
No.
beat us.
No,
Pull
you
the
did-
film.
You did not.
Pull the film.
We were literally on a podcast, and I said something about the Packers, and you went, remember that time Aaron Rodgers said around the table? Kirk Cousins marched in the Lambeau and beat him. He's going to do it again. Me.
I didn't-
Kirk Cousins owns Aaron Rodgers. You
But
literally
again,
said
you're
those exact
forgetting the
words.
rest of the conversation where I said, no, I'm kidding. We'll probably lose this because we've talked about this. The Vikings and Packers split. That's what we do every time.
ratio.
We're not letting you lie to the people like this, Jake. We're not letting you. But
Just pointed the wrong way.
no, not for the video, which is what matters, not what you see. Fuck you. This time I'm pointing the wrong
Okay.
way. Either
Packers
way,
better.
but
Packers better.
then again, the Giants O-line is awful. The Vikings will be 100% better than it was against the Packers because in that playoff game, we won't have Chris Reed playing center. That was disgusting. The amount of times, my least favorite part about it, the amount of times a false start would be called, but you hear Kirk saying hut and trying to drop back, but he has to keep waiting because the center won't snap him the ball. It's like, oh my God, this is awful. I mean, even
Rudy
Kenny Clark
Ford
said that.
clears.
Kenny Clark came out and was like, no, they had to put their backup center in. And when you have to do that, you know you're behind the eight ball. And it's like, uh-huh. Which, to be fair, it wasn't even our backup. It was our backup's backup, who's actually a guard, who used to play tackle. That was never going to work out. I'd never thought I'd say this, but we need Garrett Bradbury back.
Yeah, do. Yeah.
Because at least homie can snap the ball correctly.
I mean, hey, listen, man.
But
Say all
losing
you want, but Ed Donatel.
is so awful. He's so bad.
Ed
Dude.
Donatel was cooking against Rodgers. Trust me, bro.
How we went for 2 weeks of finally, we're running like 68 to 70% man now. And the defense is suddenly like kind of good and can get stops. And then, oh, we're playing Rodgers. So we're playing one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league who knows how to pick apart a defense. We're going to run 100% zone, never run any man, and we're going to have Christian Watson on multiple plays be guarded by Daniil Hunter. Whose idea was this? How brain dead do you have to be to go, Daniil Hunter, best pass rusher on our team. We're putting you out wide at corner. You're going to go guard Christian Watson. Whose brain thinks that that's a good idea? If it's against the Packers, I know you think it's a good idea, but stop that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
When was the last time the Vikings beat the Packers in a game where Harrison Smith didn't have an interception?
That's a good question.
I was just thinking because he didn't have one in this game, and they Packers won.
Did he in week
had
one, though?
Yeah, he did.
I'm checking.
I believe he had one. He was the guy, yeah, because Rodgers threw one pick against you guys, and it was Harry. Because I remember he tweeted about it.
I mean, it's always Harry if it's Rodgers throwing a pick.
Yeah, because I remember before the game you said it was going to be Andrew Booth Jr., and I was praying that it wasn't going to be, and it was Harrison Smith.
Google is no longer functioning. I mean, my internet's not dead. This Discord call is still fine, but it won't.
Packers Vikings week 1. Harrison Smith. Is he? I see a pick. They beat him.
I can't load anything, but that's a good question. I have no clue when the last time.
2021. And the Vikings beat them 31-34. Rodgers did not throw a pick.
Well, there you go. That's the last time we beat them without a hairy interception.
November 20. It's been over a year since the last time they beat them. To out Harrison Smith get with it.
You know what the answer is? Both of our teams just win at home. Wherever we're playing, that's the team that wins.
Packers. You guys beat us at Lambeau last year.
Oh, was it last year where it was exactly the opposite of what I just said?
The Packers and the Packers beat them in Minnesota on that one Monday Night Football game when Kevin King picked off Kirk Cousins
and Kevin
deep down
King,
the field. That was in Minnesota. That was a while ago, though.
What the fuck is going on? Nothing will load.
Also, the 34-31 game was in Minnesota too. So.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I don't care.
So well in that game. Oh my gosh. How do we lose?
You know what we need? Ed Donatel to be fired.
You
Out of a
and
cannon,
me both, brother. When it comes to defensive coordinators, you and me.
Okay, my biggest issue with it, why did we pick the guy who has always just been second fiddle to Vic Fangio when it comes to that system? If we wanted that system, why didn't we just call Vic Fangio? I promise you Fangio's not this stupid. He would not be dropping Danielle Hunter into coverage. I promise.
No.
Now,
he wouldn't.
Zadarius Smith, maybe because he's done that before. But Danielle, 100% no.
No.
Because that's the other thing we've seen for 2 weeks prior to the Packers game, is Danielle Hunter suddenly being super impactful again. Suddenly he's just getting after it. And then Ed Donatel goes, you know what? Go back to what we sucked at, not where our defense was finally looking. I'm not saying we looked great by any means, but we don't need to. Our defense, if it was just like 25th in the league, we'd be an undefeated football team. I promise. Like,
I don't mean to interrupt your rant, but can I bounce for like 3 minutes?
Oh?
I gotta take care of something real quick. I will be back.
Do you want to just spend like 2 more minutes, wrap up? You want to just wrap it up, short episode?
I mean, I don't have to like actually bounce. I literally just have to go.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Garbage out before I forget tonight.
Good God, homie's got to take the garbage out.
I do. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna be talking shit about Drew Lock the whole time.
I will come back and rant about Drew Lock for the next hour.
No. So, but no, Ed Donatel is so bad at his job. Like, I think I'm going to save that part for when Jake comes back, because that is an interesting thing to talk about. So let's talk about Jake's room in the background right now. As you can see by my background, I have nothing Vikings related, which isn't really fair because I have a Vikings little pen holder wireless charger thing on my desk. What other Vikings stuff I got visible? I used to have a bunch of Vikings posters, but I don't have those hung up anymore. I used to have an Adrian Peterson one. Used to have a Vikings mascot one. But no, for stuff in the background, I have nothing Vikings related. In Jake's background, top left wall, we've got 2 Packers logos and something I can't recognize. We've got an Aaron Rodgers fathead. Another little Packers thing that I can't really make out. Let's expand for a second. I can't make it out. We got another Packers thing here. Packers sticker there. Packers logo there. Packers curtains. Homie really showing out for the Packers. Or what am I showing out for? We've got Moon Knight, Stan Lee, Captain America, Groot, Captain America again, a D&D dice, a Destiny Ghost, a D&D dice tower. Over here, we got a gargoyle arm, a Fallout figurine, 2 Fallout figurines, multiple Baby Yodas, a Ninja Red Bull can, a Baby Yoda bobblehead, a RTX 2080 graphics card for reasons, an Xbox Lite, Marvin the Martian, Jacksepticeye, iPhone box, PlayStation Lite, an Assassin's Creed figure, another iPhone box, another Marvin the Martian figure, and what is that thing? It's the Apple HomePod box, and then on the very top we got more Baby Yodas and an iPad Pro box. And then obviously Brains Are Weird tapestry right there. Minecraft chair. Speaker. Godzilla behind the speaker. Shaker cup. Oh yeah, this one's cool. It's kind of funny. Thanos mug. I am really running out of things to talk about. Jake should run faster. Run faster, my friend. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's not even my internet specifically. It's like specifically my computer. But obviously, we're not, like, the Wi-Fi's not crashed because the Discord call's still going. So, actually, I don't want to do that. Phone, maybe. Does Google work on my phone? Can I, like, Google things? Harrison Smith. Oh? Dude, what is going on? Yo, what's going on, guys? This is going to be Jedi. When you hear this part, it's interesting. Oh my God. Discord is having a moment. Oh my. Jakey boy?
What's up?
All right. I spent literally 0 time talking about Drew Lock. We actually spent the entire time admiring your background. Talking about all the Packers stuff that you have put up. How I have no Vikings stuff in the background and your background's all Packers.
It is, yeah. The worst part is, like, that fat head is not coming off.
Yeah.
Like, if Aaron Rodgers kills a dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do, cause.
Well, that's not fair. It could have been a justified murder. It could have been.
It's true.
You know, maybe some dude broke into his house and tried to steal his ayahuasca, and he, had to shut that shit down.
While being high on ayahuasca.
Absolutely.
The process, yeah.
Dude's been on ayahuasca for 3 years now. I refuse to believe he's been sober for 1 minute.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So what I had started to talk about before you left that I, like, had a whole fucking issue with.
Donatel.
So I was talking about Ed Donatel, and, I was like, I don't even get it. We could have just, and then I paused because I was like, oh, this is something to bring up when Jake gets back. Andre Patterson was our defensive coordinator under Zimmer last year. I think he's pretty good at his job. I can't even Google stuff on my phone. I'm so confused. Call shouldn't be working if my internet's down, but my internet will do nothing but the calls, so that's good. Andre Patterson currently is the defensive line coach for the New York Giants. He was our defensive coordinator. What's been the only functional unit for the Giants this year?
Well,
their secondary's awful and their linebackers suck.
Well, they're also very talented. the defensive line. It's not like he's doing something with nothing.
Well, no, but I am also just saying, like, the only unit on that football team that's any good is the D-line.
Yeah, but
And yes, they do have a lot of talent. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence.
the only talented unit on that defense. Like,
Well, no, the secondary has pieces. I don't know how injury riddled they've been, but they have pieces.
sure.
And even the linebackers have pieces. Isn't Kayvon Thibodeau technically a linebacker?
I suppose.
So we could have just kept that guy. The guy who understands getting pressure is important.
Mhm.
And not just, let's drop 8 guys into coverage, rush 3, but not have any of those 3 be our actual pass rushers. It'll be Jordan Hicks, Eric Kendricks, and Dalvin Tomlinson. Those will be the 3 actually going for it. And Danielle Hunter, Zadarius Smith, and Harrison Phillips will all drop back in coverage. This makes sense.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that I'm gonna get Fangio because you'd have to hire Sean Payton to do that at this point.
Yeah.
Seeing as he's part of that staff, I think that I don't know. I mean, you're not gonna fire O'Connell, obviously, so you're gonna have an offensive-minded head coach for the foreseeable future, and I mean, honestly, if I'm the Vikings, I'm calling the Cowboys about Dan Quinn. Interviewing Dan Quinn for that spot because
Yeah, I just don't feel like Quinn would leave being a DC to go be a DC.
I don't know, man. I don't know if Quinn. I think Quinn's a better coordinator than he is a head coach.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know who is looking that will hire him. Maybe the Broncos, but like. I honestly think I can think of guys outside of Quinn that are going to land in the spots that are open right now. Like, I think the Broncos are going to make a pretty strong push for Sean Payton. I think the Panthers or the Raiders, one of those two. I mean, the Raiders haven't fired their coach yet. They will.
They might
Raiders
not.
or the Colts. Raiders, Colts, Panthers. One of those 2 teams, I guarantee you, will have Jim Harbaugh as their head coach at the start of next season.
And Frank
He will be an
Reich
NFL
will
coach.
be a head coach again. I'm 100% positive of that.
I don't
He
know
is
who's getting
too
fired
good
at
of
the
a
end of the
coach.
season. I don't know who's going to end up having vacancies.
Let's see.
I think that Harbaugh should be a head coach next year. Reich should be a head coach next year. I think Kellen Moore's going to get interviewed quite a bit. I don't know if he'll get hired.
He shouldn't. But
I don't know. I mean, Harbaugh. I seriously think Harbaugh would be an immediate top 5 NFL head coach if he were to come into the NFL.
I'm
He's
still a
he's
little
fantastic.
sad we didn't get him last year.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Hammy on my podcast about the emotional roller coaster it was for Packers fans watching the Jim Harbaugh news go down with the Vikings. I don't know if they would be any better than they are with Kevin O'Connell, but
I don't think so. I don't think so. But maybe because
tend to
maybe
lean
the
maybe.
defense would be better because he would
because
not have
Harbaugh
hired
can whip the
Donato.
defense into shape. Yeah.
Well, Harbaugh's not a defensive coach, so
But he's more defensive minded than Kevin O'Connell is, I would say. He comes from a better defensive background than Kevin O'Connell does.
But what do you mean
I
by
think.
being his only job before being a head coach was as a quarterbacks coach. And then before that, he was a quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah, but
He's an offensive guy.
Michigan's defense is really good, and I attribute some of that to him.
Sure.
I think I don't know. I'm not saying he should be a defensive coordinator. I'm just saying I think that.
Oh no, the Vikings
He
need
wouldn't
a
hire
DC.
Donato.
I don't know who it'll be,
He wouldn't have hired Donato.
but we need
You
a
are right about
DC. I don't know who it
And I don't
can
know.
or will be, but
Hey man, let me tell you one thing right now. You can have Joe Barry.
no.
You can have Joe Barry.
Hey, at this point, don't you want to keep Joe Barry? Hasn't the defense finally been what was promised?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Isn't it's just like Brandon Staley. I'd been saying he should be fired,
Fair.
but now suddenly his defense is playing like it's supposed to.
I mean, Joe Barry, this past game was just like Jair go get him. Like you want to talk smack, go back it up. And for the most part, I
Right.
understand that people slip in the sliding. I think Jair did a very good job.
There are a couple of play. So my biggest thing is I know of 5 plays off the top of my head where Jefferson was lined up against Jair and smoked him, and Kirk never even looked that direction. That helps Jair. That Kirk wasn't targeting Jefferson for whatever reason. He just wouldn't.
Yeah, but I think it definitely speaks more to Jair that in the moments that he was targeted, he stepped up.
Well, his only pass breakup on Justin Jefferson was pass interference. So, because it was the first play of the game. Dude, you do not get to grab him by the throat, stare him down, never look for the ball, and then pull on his jersey at the same time and go, that's not PI. That was PI. It was obviously PI. Everyone in the world said it was PI, except for Packers fans, who I'm pretty sure would have allowed Jair to shoot JJ and go, that's not pass interference, that's legal.
I'm going to say it all I want because he hit the gritty after. I think it's hilarious. I think Jair's a super funny guy.
Oh,
I just don't.
It's weird how much he's hated for being a trash talker. I don't understand that. We all loved Primetime for being a trash talker.
I just love I love the way Jair just does not care at all. He's just because he would have said those things even if if Justin Jefferson had smoked them again.
Oh yeah,
he would have been like, fluke didn't happen.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. Fluke didn't. What are you talking about?
He would have been doing the same thing I'm doing with JJ right now. Look at all the times he just fell down.
That, and it would have been then after the Dolphins game last week when he had his post game interview, he's like, man, I saw that boy throw that ball too high and I went up there and got it, and he's just talking about his pick. I'm like, dude, I love this guy.
Oh, dude, I don't, because he's on the Packers, so
he's doing a very good job of responding to the anti-narratives that got pushed against him early in the season, which, to be fair, I was a part of some of them.
Well, they were also warranted. He did not play good at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, but he's kind of reminding us who he is, and I like that.
Oh yeah, my favorite lockdown play from Jair Alexander yesterday was the first play, or not yesterday, Sunday. Don't know why I'm saying yesterday, but on Sunday was the first play after the blocked punt. Jefferson runs this really weird route where he cuts to the middle of the field, and then he should have just sat down because nobody wanted to guard him, but then he cut back towards Jair, fell down, didn't get targeted anyways, so it wouldn't have mattered. But JJ beats Jair off the line so hard. Jair never got out of his stance before JJ was in the end zone, and Jair just points like somebody should cover him. And that has been my favorite picture, because I just keep seeing this as, yes, the lockdown point. I've never seen that before. All he did was point, and Kirk didn't want to throw it. It was funny as shit.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins also reminded us who he is this game.
100%. Well,
I'm sorry, man.
I don't know what the game plan was. That's the part that worries me. Because the game plan had Hawkinson as the first read every play, and then Thielen as the second read. I don't remember a single play where Justin Jefferson was the actual primary read. Not one.
I mean, I don't know. It's just Kirk, I said this in my TikTok video that I'm not going to sit here and blame him for every single interception. I think that a lot of it was good defensive plays. The one for Rudy Ford was his fault.
Oh, yeah.
One of Rudy Ford, where he threw in double coverage deep down the field, underthrew it. Rudy Ford got there. The other one, Kenny Clark hit him before he even threw it, landed right in Adrian Amos' lap. The other one, what was the third one?
I think it was tipped. Something weird.
No, the tipped one was the Adrian Amos one.
Oh, okay.
Something weird happened, but it wasn't his fault.
Right. But still, it's Kirk puts himself in these situations.
Oh, Yeah, no, the third one was the Rasul Douglas got a hand in and popped it up on whoever he was
Oh, yeah.
covering, and one of the safeties, Darnell Savage, yeah,
Oh yeah,
came up and
that's a fluke interception. And I don't mean that like the Packers don't deserve it. Great play, but that's not a Kirk made a bad throw. He just
It's a pretty similar game to Rodgers' 3 interception game against the Lions, where like one of them you can be like, yeah, that was on you, but the other two, it's just like, what are we doing? Like,
well, I mean, that's how it felt. Yeah, God, I keep wanting to say yesterday for some fucking reason. That's how this game felt though. After the blocked kick, and we didn't score a touchdown on the 1 yard line. First of all, not trying a QB sneak. What the fuck? Not trying a fullback dive. What the fuck? What are we doing?
I didn't watch the first part of the game as I was at work. Did they even run it with Cook?
Yes, once. They went
pass,
run, field goal.
Be real with me. Don't be biased. Is Dalvin Cook washed? Is he still that guy?
No.
I'm kind of cooling off on Dalvin Cook. I can't lie to you.
So, Dalvin's weird. Because it feels like he's lost a step speed-wise, which is really what he had. He was one of the fastest running backs in the league.
Yeah, because I saw someone call him like the most overrated player in the NFL right now.
100% not the most overrated player in the NFL.
I do think he's overrated. I think people still deem him as higher than he is currently.
I mean, he's still
he's not the most overrated player.
He's a top 5 to 10 back. I can see you sneaking him
like
in at 5.
7.
Sure.
I think it's like 6 or 7.
But he's just like Alvin Kamara. They've both lost something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Because they
also both play for horrendous offensive lines.
But the Vikings' offensive line is graded as one of the 10 best at run blocking. So
I also don't think Kamara's lost as much as take Kamara over Cook.
I would not.
I think Kamara's shown some.
Kamara looks slower. He also can no longer catch.
I don't blame Kamara.
The biggest problem I have with Kamara, he's lost his coach's respect. They do not use him anymore, which to me means he either isn't working as hard as he used to, or he's just worse than he used to be. Whereas at least Cook, he's still the bell cow. It's just, you can tell he's
Kamara's
not the same.
Kamara doesn't have much motivation. I mean, he's on a terrible team.
Well, and he also might be going to prison in a couple months, so we'll see.
Very true. Yeah. Just saying.
But I would
have been an Eagle. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, we're not gonna work off the hyperbole and conjecture here. No, we're going with what we know. And that is that Kamara hasn't been that guy this year. But Cook, I don't know, man. He doesn't.
I didn't really notice it fully because I don't watch the Vikings, admittedly, but I didn't really notice it fully until that one play against the Lions where he just did a little dance in place and got popped.
Yeah.
Fumbled.
Well, no, he didn't. Yeah. I guess people are saying that was supposed to be a designed pass like the Derrick Henry, jump pass.
Oh.
Even then, none of that makes sense because he never held the ball in a position like he was going to throw it.
Yeah,
he never attempted to look for a receiver. He just shuffled and then got hit. Like I don't know.
Even on those plays, Derrick Henry moves forward.
Right.
Tucks the ball, moves forward, and tosses it. Dalvin Cook tucks the ball, stands there, and gets popped.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But the Colts game, Dalvin's breakaway screen pass.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings offensive lineman kept up with him. He didn't beat the Colts guys like he normally does. Like, he's lost a step. Now, I don't know if he's just still suffering an injury from earlier in the year and that's what's causing it. I don't know if he is just done. I don't know. But he is not the same dude, and I genuinely think Cook won't be a Viking next year.
Does it do up next year?
No. I don't think it matters, though. Yep. He's traded or cut. And then
I'm actually very interested to see what a team would throw together for a package for Cook.
Probably nothing huge, but we probably don't want it huge. Really, what we want is you to take Cook and his contract. Give us whatever you feel like is deserving of that.
Alvin Cook, you are a Miami Dolphin.
Honestly, probably.
Him or Josh Jacobs. I think the Dolphins are very aggressive for one of those two dudes.
And the Dolphins do.
Or Saquon.
I guess the Dolphins had 2 first-round picks. Now they only have 1. But
They do have the assets. Yeah.
I was going to say, I could still see the Dolphins going, especially if they make the playoffs. I could see them going,
Cook,
pick
Cook is not worth
25.
a first-round pick.
Pick
I
25
don't
for
think
Dalvin
any
Cook.
of them.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. If he,
Because you got to remember, Cook's still only 27.
yeah, but the kind of season I saw him have this year, I don't know if he's worth the first.
The season
Early
you saw
second,
him have
yeah.
this year where he's top 3 in rushing yards, that's not true, but he is top 5.
I don't know. The
Actually, let me look
Dolphins-
at this. This is the other part that's weird, is because Cook's numbers have been good, but just watching him, you're like, I don't know. So yeah, right now, Dalvin Cook is actually, he fell a little bit. Justin Fields finally passed him. So Cook is 7th in rushing yards this year, ahead of guys like Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, the Pro Bowler, and then a bunch of these guys don't matter. Also ahead of Austin Eckler, also ahead of Jonathan Taylor, way ahead of Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is about to rush for less yards than Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary gets used more in his offense than Kamara does, to be fair, at this point. But yeah.
Also, on his best day, Devin Singletary is a quarter of the running back that Alvin Kamara is. So, but Dalvin Cook right now has 1,136 rushing yards on 253 attempts. He has 8 tutties, 5 carries of 20 plus, 4 carries of 40 plus, a long of 81. Where the fuck is his average? Like yards? Where's his yards per carry? Why does NFL Network not? Why does NFL.com not have that as a stat that matters? Because it definitely does. I want to know who's doing it efficiently.
I mean, he does average more yards a carry.
Yeah.
Saquon.
Dalvin's yards per carry is 4.5 right now. That's higher than Saquon. That's the same as Derrick Henry. It's 2.2 points lower than CMC. Good God, Aaron Jones averages 5.3 yards a carry.
That man is so good. That man is.
Except he's not, because you guys like everyone else that's not named him. Get Aaron Jones off the Packers.
He's good.
Get him off
He's
the
good.
Packers. I want to see him on a team where he's actually able to play. Fuck it. Dalvin Cook for Aaron Jones right now.
Edge Jones better than him, so he can be a backup, I guess.
Wait, Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison for A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. Who says no? Both teams, because we're division rivals.
A, they're division rivals.
Well, and B, Cook and Madison are just both better.
Come on. Who do you think the first running back on the list of the top yards per carry people is? If you had to guess.
Is it Saquon?
First
Wait, yards per carry?
Yeah.
Travis Etienne.
No.
Damn.
And by the way, they are 5th on this list behind 4 quarterbacks.
Oh, the first running back is 5th after 4 quarterbacks.
The first running back on the list of most yards per attempt, yards per carry, in 5th place behind 4 quarterbacks. Those 4 quarterbacks are Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Daniel Jones.
Oh my God, I just checked and I'm pissed about it.
You checked?
Yeah. I gave up. You weren't answering it, and I got scared. Why is it Khalil Herbert?
I don't know.
He's not that good.
He's not good.
No, even Miller Football will come on here as a Bears fan and tell you he's not that good. He just benefits from being. So basically, Chicago has the same thing going on that Minnesota, Green Bay, Dallas do. You have your bigger bruiser back, your Alexander Madison, your A.J. Dillon, your Zeke. The Bears have Monty. And then you got your little speed guy, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Khalil Herbert, Tony Pollard. Khalil Herbert is the biggest David Montgomery merchant I've ever seen. Montgomery will come wear down the defense 10 plays in a row. Herbert will come in for one play, run for 20 yards, spend the next 2 plays going negative, then trying to pass block and allowing a sack because he doesn't know how to. Monty will come in, give you, a 4-yard carry, a 5-yard carry, give you a key block on 3rd down to set up Justin Fields, and people will come out and be like, Herbert better. No.
Okay. Don't look at the list. Don't cheat this time. I want you to actually guess this one if you haven't looked already.
Okay.
Who do you think is number 46 on this list?
Oh, fuck you. Dalvin Cook.
Dead last. It's just dead last, by the way.
46
on
this
this list.
dead last. It's got to be somebody who gets enough carries. DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift is not even on this list, so I'm assuming he's worse than the worst on this list.
No, that means he doesn't have enough carries to qualify again.
He doesn't have enough qualifiers to carry. Yeah, never mind. Neither does Jamal Williams. No, he does.
I was going to say, yes, he does.
But who do you think's the worst of all qualifying backs?
God, who sucks? Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is number 41.
Oh, so he's second to last? Who's
46 is last.
Oh, fuck. Well, he's still bottom 5.
He's
nice.
bottom 5. Bottom 5.
Okay, who's worse than Najee?
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this right now. 2 of the bottom 4 are on the same team, and one of them is the last place person. The last place person plays for the same team as somebody who was also
Are they
in the
Dolphins?
bottom 4. They're not Dolphins.
Oh.
They're in the NFC.
Okay, NFC team. Okay. It's obviously not Giants. Oh, it's Buccaneers play. Is Lenny the worst?
He averages 3.5 per carry. He's the worst. And Rashad White is number 43 at 3.7.
When we tell you the Buccaneers O-line is bad and they can no longer run, this is what
That's why
we mean.
I wanted to bring this up. Yes. Bottom 5 is Kareem Hunt, Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, Michael Carter, and Leonard Fournette.
Kareem Hunt being in the bottom 5 is genuinely surprising.
He averages 3.8.
Weird. No wonder nobody wants to pay what the Browns want to trade for him.
No, right? Actually, the Dolphin in the top 12.
Is it Jeff Wilson, though?
Yeah, Raheem Mostert's number 16.
Jeff Wilson doesn't count. He spent literally 50% of the season on the best running team in the sport.
Yeah, but Mostert also averages only 0.1 less. So.
Oh, well, all right. Got Khalil Herbert, Aaron Jones, and Tony Pollard. There's Travis Etienne. I knew he was up there. And then Josh Jacobs and Nick Chubb and Miles Sanders. Those are your guys who average more than 5 yards a carry. God damn Justin Fields and his 7.1 yards per carry.
Oh my gosh, there's no way.
What? What happened this time?
Another little trivia question for you.
Okay.
What quarterback is first in yards per pass thrown this season?
Oh God, yards per pass thrown.
I will give you I'll give you 2 through 5 right behind him.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy G, and Tannehill.
Yards per pass thrown. Is it Andy Dalton?
Is not.
Okay.
He is number 7 though.
Okay, I knew he was up there. Is it Geno?
Geno is number 10.
Okay. I mean, I'm hitting the top 10 still here. Is it Kirk?
Kirk
No. Okay.
is number 20.
Oh shit. Okay. Homie throws a lot of passes. Okay. Okay. Is it an actual starter or is it somebody who's a backup? Like, who is
It's a
currently
starter.
the backup on the team, but they are playing.
It's a starter.
Okay.
Although you would argue that this person should be the backup.
I would argue this person should. Is it Tua?
It's 8.9.
See,
It's 0.7 more than the next guy.
no. We aren't doing this. I don't care who the quarterback is for the Dolphins. If they are a average level NFL quarterback or higher, they should lead that stat. Because you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I don't know if there's ever been a receiving core better than those two.
True.
They are so fucking speedy. They got all the speed over there in Miami. Fuck, even Mostert is insanely
isn't
fast.
Yards per pass thrown like airtime?
No, yards per pass thrown. It's taking all of the yards that you've accumulated, which does includes all the yak for the receivers, and then dividing that by the amount of passes you've attempted and seeing what that final number is. Ergo, the Dolphins quarterback should be leading that. Now, the fact that Tannehill is there
He's top 10.
is
Top
very
5,
interesting.
actually.
Because Tannehill ain't got no weapons. So that one's intriguing. And I know people want to say Treylon Burks as if for the first 10 weeks of the year he didn't play. He didn't make Tannehill get up there.
No.
Like, yeah.
I don't think you will get this one in a million years.
Okay.
What quarterback has the lowest interception percentage in the NFL right now?
Is it an actual starter or a backup?
It's an actual starter.
Okay.
These are only actual starters currently, except for Jimmy G.
But you know what I mean? Andy Dalton's not an actual starter. He was the backup.
Oh, right, yeah. No,
so
this dude.
that's what I mean. Is it a guy who's
started for his team.
playing
Yeah.
because somebody's not healthy or whatever? Okay. He's the actual starter for his team. Oh, lowest
I think you get this
interception
in-
percentage.
The next 2 through 5 on this list: Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Goff, and Jimmy G.
I'm taking a shot. Is it Sam Darnold?
No, I don't think
Damn.
Donald's gonna pass.
Oh, he might not qualify. Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like you're setting me up for this one. Is it Danny Dimes?
it is Danny Dimes with a 1.1%.
I wanted to guess that first, but I started thinking about Sam Darnold, and I was like, I don't know if dude's thrown a pick yet this year. So
I don't think he has.
I know he hasn't started all the games, obviously, but I don't remember Darnold throwing a pick.
Not yet, no.
I know in the game where he probably should have against the Broncos, he made Pat Surtain look awful. Every play was targeting Pat Surtain. It was weird. Darnold wanted to flex against the Broncos for some reason. And that's not ideal. Okay, well, I don't know what just happened, but we lost Jake. So I'm going to call it there and then recall Jake because I don't know what's going on my phone and say thank you and all that stuff. So for now, I want to say thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you again to Jake for being here. We'll have to pick this episode up again later. Maybe go into all of this, weird numbers stuff. But for now, I think that'll do it for me. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.